this video, I'm going to be reviewing a Parker 51 clone, the Wingsung 601. I'll go over the specs, I'll do a comparison with a real vintage Parker 51, I'll do a writing sample, and then I'll tell you what I like and don't like about this pen, so stay tuned. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I link out the show notes and put links in the description below. Alright, let's get on with the review. Let's walk through the Wingsung 601. So, starting with the cap, it's a steel cap. There's a white plastic jewel on the top of the cap, arrow clip at the bottom of the cap. I think it says Wingsung here, and then 601 and made in China. The pen body is plastic. This is the hooded steel nib. These come in what I would consider a fine or extra fine. I do not believe they come in extra nib widths, but if they do, let me know. This is the clutch ring which holds the cap onto the pen body. There are six, I don't know if I go this way, you might be able to see it. There are 6 ink windows here. At the back of the pen is a blind cap. This is the button for the vacuum filling system. So you stick the nib in the inkwell and push the button 4 or 5 times. Each time you push this, the button will come back up on its own. Also here there's a little hexagonal nut which you can unscrew to disassemble the filling system for maintenance. So that's the Wingsung 601 walkthrough. Okay, the weight. So capped, we're looking at 9.51 grams. I'm sorry, that's 19.51 grams. Uncapped, 12.53 grams. Let's quickly measure the pen. So total length is about 138 millimeters capped. Now posted, we're looking at about, I'd call that 152 millimeters. Uncapped, about 128 millimeters. So pretty good size, comfortable pen. So compared to the Parker 51, I'll start by pointing out some of the main differences between these pens. One of the major differences is that the Parker 51 has a 14 karat gold nib, whereas this is a steel nib. Also, the Parker 51, this particular one, has an aerometric filling system. The early Parker 51s had a vacuumatic filling system, which was very similar to the Wingsung. The vacuumatic did not have ink windows. The button on the vacuumatic was plastic, and it didn't have this nut. You needed a special tool to disassemble the filling system. Now, most Parker 51s were made with this filling system, which was called the aerometric. This has a sack here and a spring bar. So to fill it, you stick the nib in an inkwell and you squeeze, or you push against this spring bar here, and it'll depress the sack and draw ink up into the sack. Those are really the major differences between these two pens, other than price. Now, the Wingsung 601 is $20. The prices for these Parker 51s vary quite a bit. I would say to get a good one, you're probably going to spend $150. You might be able to get a nice one for $100 if you really hunt around. This one I would consider a decent one. This was actually the first vintage pen I ever bought, and I've had 3, I think, yeah, 3 Parker 51 since then. This was my favorite, so this was the one that stayed, even though the finish on the cap is not in the best of shape. But anyway, those are the major differences. You really get a similar experience out of this pen for so much less money. You get history. This was one of the best selling pens of all time, and I consider it one of the best fountain pens ever made. But they don't make them anymore, so this is a really nice pen for $20. Okay, let's do the writing sample. And this is Maruman Mnemosyne paper. And this is Monte Verde Olivine ink. So yeah, it's smooth. I mean, I have not had any issues with it skipping. I can just try some fast writing. I don't know if I can write and talk at the same time, that is. I've found that this pen does do reverse writing pretty well. So you can turn this nib upside down and just get a finer line. Anyway, that's the Wingsung 601. It's a great writer. I have 0 issues with the writing performance. It works perfectly, in my opinion. Pros and cons of the Wingsung 601. So in terms of pros, for me, I think this pen is about 95% as good as the Parker 51, and it's only $20. You're getting the same classic Parker 51 style, the same size. I also really like that this pen is a great office pen because it doesn't really scream fountain pen. It's quite subtle. I also like the slip cap, easy to take on and off, good size ink capacity. I like the 6 ink windows, and it's a nice, reliable writer in my experience. In terms of the cons, I suppose people will say that this is a copy, and I'm not a huge fan of homages, but in this case, Parker has not made the 51 for like 40 years now. So to be able to get 95% of that experience in a brand new pen is really exciting to me. The other downside that I would see is that this really only comes in one nib width, at least that I've been able to see. If that isn't correct, let me know in the comments. It comes in like a width that I would describe as a fine or possibly extra fine. For me, that's the size that I generally like and like to write with, but if you want a wider nib, this pen probably won't be for you. Okay, so that's the Wingsung 601 fountain pen review. Do you guys have this pen? Do you like this pen? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink reviews, hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time.